everything that I told you was going to happen is faster than I had originally thought, but it's all happening. So speed up your preparations, whatever those may be. Russell Vought has been spending the last 4 years riding up this blizzard of executive orders that we are now suffering through in order to flood the zone with shit like Steve Bannon taught Trump in his first presidency. And he has written executive orders that he feels are designed to hit democracy in its weak spots. Now, I'm going to hope that the Democrats will get their fucking head out of their asses and start talking about what they are going to do to fix this problem and how they would govern differently, like Jon Stewart suggested. But I'm also aware of the fact that we have to deal with it now, because it's going to continue to be like this. It will be foreign policy by Truth Social post. It will be somebody catching him coming out of the bathroom on Air Force One, saying something off the top of his head, and suddenly an entire department loses its funding. Or like right now, where all federal grants and loans have been paused. That caused such a chain of destruction that nobody knows what the fuck's going on. Because while Carolyn Levitt is going to promise, oh no, this isn't going to affect your individual monies from the United States government, the Medicaid website is still down. There's no clarification on whether, if you are someone who's, for example, running a Head Start program, if you're going to be able to continue to get funding. You can tell the idea is to create confusion and chaos. Don't be confused about what this means for you. And I heard something really helpful from a gal who I just got turned on to, who has been dealing with this and swimming in these waters for a long time. Her name is Park Rose Permaculture. And she really does have a lot to say about living a slower and more sustainable life. But of course, she also talks about the political side of that, because the politics is personal. Always has been, no matter what people want to say. But she said, you're going to have to feel your feelings about this insane flurry of bullshit that's being thrown our way, but don't let them overtake you. And that's what I was talking about with my last post was, how does one find that balance? How do you keep moving ahead without letting it like swamp your spirit or turn you into a rage machine or make you take to the streets and do something that essentially just proves their point about why they need to crack down and take away all of our rights? It's because that's also a ploy, right? If they can get you so mad that they can make you become not just rhetorically violent, but actually violent, then that's the Reichstag moment. Whether there's a fire involved or not, that allows him to then initiate the Alien Sedition Act from 89 or what have you, where he can say, see, we're being invaded by those Marxist, liberal, undocumented immigrant transgenders and such. We're going to have to use the military against them because they are the enemies within. That's if we get violent. So how do you do anything in this time? Give yourself the permission to feel all your feelings in the most raw way possible, but set a timer on it. In this way, you're not freezing yourself like a robot into some purely rationalistic or logical response to things that are just fucking objectively just fucking horrible, and anyone would have a reaction to them. But you're not also just letting yourself be so flooded with these emotions at all times that they just become the only thing you can feel or experience or think, because then they're robbing you of your joy. They're robbing you of your ability to be present with the people you love. And I got a chance to spend time with people that I love this weekend, and they reminded me of that. They reminded me of who I am at a deeper level and why we all became such good friends. And that the things that make me care so much about these issues are also the things that make people attracted to me, but that they want me to be a whole and responsive person to them and keep that balance. I mean, Frodo, when Gandalf told him that it was going to be his fate to carry the Ring of Power, said, I wish this had never come to me. I wish none of this had happened. And what he said in response was, no one wants to live through a time like this, but that is not your choice. Your choice is what to do with the time that you've been given. Are there any other preparations that you need to take? Do what you can to do it now. Because we're all going to be going into survival mode. And I have a sneaking suspicion that every single app is going to be subject to a lot of government interference. I mean, I think Blue Sky might end up being less of that. YouTube, probably less of that. But it's already starting to happen with TikTok. But honestly, let's take stock. Any social media platforms that you're leaving, just deleting your information in terms of, the account does not delete their ability to use the data they've gathered on you, particularly Meta, to sell you shit and to track you. But if you go to the Electronic Freedom Foundation, they actually have instructions for how you can stop Meta or Twitter, X, or any of these social media sites that gather information on you through algorithms from tracking you. Because if they're not going to protect my democracy, why the fuck should they get access to my data?